All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the market, but more importantly, you guys have been absolutely loving the tier list, and we're not ranking them from S to D. It might show that right now, but we are ranking them by how many X's these projects can do remaining from here in the cycle. But today, we're not talking about gaming tokens. We're talking about the hottest niche in all of crypto, and that is AI. We're going to go over why AI could be the gaming of last cycle. While I'm still uber bullish on the gaming space this cycle, it is that fresh narrative where a lot of the business hype in the world is looking at AI. So we're going to go over why this has some real explosive upside. And we'll go over how many X's these tokens have remaining this cycle. So without further ado, let's get in the game. And as always, guys, drop down, hit that like button, and subscribe down below. We're trying to push for that 100K subscriber mark. If you're getting value, if you're making gains with us here on In the Game, like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come check out where you get all of your alpha in the crypto gaming, AI, metaverse niches. And also, shout out to all of our sponsors here on In the Games. We have some amazing sponsors here on the channel. You can check them all out in the description below. Vulcan Forged, Ultra, Dreams Quest. We have Game Starter, NordVPN, Uncaged. We have Africa Rare, Funtico, Linea, Affin, Moontropica, Reality Metaverse, and 𝗏𝗏𝗄. And if you guys haven't seen, there's only 3 days left on our NFT giveaway in collaboration with Funtico, one of our sponsors here. Really awesome projects. They're doing a lot of different competitions and prize pools. They're giving away a pudgy penguin in their main event. So first of all, link down below in the description to check them out. But we are giving away this NFT, this cozy penguin, in collaboration with Funtico. There's only 3 days left. So check that out in the link down below and make sure you get involved. And while looking at the markets currently, I mean, we're kind of just trending around that 70K level. And it's hard to, we're going to probably consolidate, if not, trade sideways for a little bit of a short-term time period. We do have the halving coming up. We could see a little bit of boost in the market. And I definitely see altcoins, catapulting if we do see another boost in Bitcoin around the halving. But whenever I'm looking at the markets today, some big wins on the board. You guys that have stuck with Wilder World over the time period, shout out to everyone who had conviction in this token. Because I remember, and I tweeted this today, reading some of the comments after last summer when the Apple VR headset thing came around. Wilder World did a 2x at that point in time. And then it dipped back down to those 30-cent levels. And people were like, Hustle, should I even be holding this? And I'm very convicted. I have never sold a single cent of my Wilder World bags that we got into at that time. And as we see here, Wilder today is over $1. Like, if we look at this monthly move, guys, 160% on the month. And I know they have so much more in store. And they've been shipping hard. I've played the game. It's absolutely quality. And it has all the elements to be a major success. We see stuff like Crown, probably the Solana game of this cycle at this point in time. Crown is $1.75. And we're about a month away from the Kentucky Derby. One of my favorite AI projects, Balance AI, up 17% today. We have Citus up another 15% and up 60% on the weekly. So just a couple of wins there across the market. But we're not really here to talk about the current state of the market today. We'll go over a little bit of news in the crypto gaming space quickly. We have Nyan Heroes, which is one of the most polished games in the space right now. They're actually on the top 5 most wish listed on the Epic Game Store. So that's a pretty nice achievement as far as the Web3 gaming space goes. We have Playable Games who, quiet but deadly. They have hit 125,000 downloads for their flagship game with around 5,000 daily active players, as we see the stats here, with the average playtime of over an hour. So pretty impressive stats across the board. And it's nice to see some of these gaming tokens get the love, like Crown, Wilder World, Game Starters up nice for the 24 hours. A lot of other tokens kind of in the green, but at this point in time, the market's just trading sideways. Some of the stuff is consolidating, but I think there's a lot of good accumulations in the market currently. Now, more importantly for this show, we are going to be covering AI tokens. Now, AI, This is the darling of this cycle. And I think gaming, real world assets, and AI are the three niches that are going to provide the most gain. Meme coins aside, because if you're going for meme coins, you're going to miss 100 before you catch one. And depending on your risk allocation, your tolerance, etc., you're not going to get to that 101st that hits. Okay. So meme coins aside, these narratives right here, gaming, AI, and real world assets, are going to be the ones that take you to Valhalla, as we call it here in the crypto space, this cycle. I have absolutely no doubt about that. And while a majority of my portfolio is positioned into gaming, I think it'd be foolish to ignore AI this cycle, as AI is that new, that fancy, that shiny niche. And as we see with, how big open AI is now, how Elon's building with AI, how all the biggest companies in the world are fighting to integrate AI into their tech and into their products. So ignoring AI would be a bit ignorant. So when you're looking at these three niches, we have gaming, which is the biggest entertainment sector in the world. It's bigger than movies, music, and television combined. Okay, so that's a killer app in itself. We have AI, as I just described. I think it's going to be here to stay. And then real world assets. People like stuff that they can understand and relate to. So if you can tie in real world assets into the crypto space, obviously that resonates with the general public. But I agree with 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗏𝗏 here. AI coins will retire you. And recently it seems you just put some money in some AI coins, let those things go, let them rip. Once we get to the Pico top, once we get to the turbo bull market, you're going to be able to then cash out, who knows, maybe generational wealth if you plant your seeds in the right products. So on this show, we are going to go over which tokens I believe can 100x, 50x, 25x, 10x, and at lowest 5x here on the AI sector. And to be completely honest, on the gaming side, I think a lot of the stuff and my two categories in the games video and in the infrastructure and blockchain video, I think a lot of stuff will 10x. I think a lot of stuff will 25x. But there are a couple of projects in this niche specifically that could legitimately do 50x's for how hot AI is, right? So just a disclaimer. This is off of where we are today in the market. How many more X's can these projects do? Obviously, the larger the market cap, the harder it is to be a 50x, so to speak. So let's roll through these. And number one here on the tier list is 𝗏𝗏𝗡. Now, this is a kind of newish one in the narrative. But look, this is why we're saying AI coins can literally retire you this cycle. 𝗏𝗏𝗡 is up 1,265% on the 30 days. Node AI is up 900% on the 30 days. These AI tokens, they're doing meme coin-esque numbers over 30-day time periods. So the first one here on the list is Destra Network. This is an interesting one. I think it can possibly look for what it's done this week. I know this is one that Becker recently put on his Twitter as well. So a lot of people aping after him. Look, Destra, based on where it is today, 200 million market cap, and this thing's fully diluted. Look, let's just set the tone and be straight up. I wouldn't be surprised to see this at a couple of $1 billion market cap. That'd be a 25x from here. I genuinely think that some of these coins can do that. While I'm a little more conservative on the gaming side because the niche has been around for a while. So it's not, and like we're going to have those killer gains. We're going to have 25, 50, 100x's in the gaming sector. But I do think the multiples you could see out of AI this cycle could even be higher than what we see from the gaming cycle, because it is, we always say new coins will outperform last cycle tokens, but it's the same thing. New cycle narratives might as well and just might outperform the old cycle narratives. So what we're seeing is AI. I do think a lot of these projects, I think there's going to be more in the 25x sector here than probably in the combined videos I did for both games and infrastructure for the gaming space. The next token here on the list is 𝗏𝗡𝗅. 𝗏𝗡𝗅, I think similarly, they caught a little bit of FUD from 𝗪𝗏𝗡𝗃 on the timeline, but this one's close to being fully diluted. And I mean, if we look at the 1 month chart, this one's up 120%. On the 1 year, it is up 30x. So from the bottom, this was an easy, probably 100x. Like I think it'll 5x from here without a doubt. And I mean, look, I'm not shy on this tier list. OPSEC is so popular amongst AI investors right now. I think it could 25x. And that would look, those would put these two projects at a $5 billion market cap. That's not unrealistic whatsoever to think that some of these multi-hundred million market caps currently, once we really see alt season, could hit a few $1 billion market cap. And I think 2 billion, a 10x for these two projects specifically, is a little high. So I do think we're going to see probably some 25x's out of a lot of these different AI tokens. Next up on the list here is Gaming. Now, this is an interesting one. It's intersection, obviously, in the gaming and AI space. This is a brand new token, okay? 130 million market cap, 1.98 billion fully diluted. That's where I get scared here. And as an early investor, I know the vesting schedule here. There's going to be monthly unlocks for quite some time. Now, in a bull run, people don't care. Right? People do not care in a bull run if there's dilution in the tokens. But I mean, a 10x from here, the diluted's a $20 billion market cap. I'm not bearish on gaming, but I think on a circulating level, if it hits a billion or 1.3, that's a 10x from here. There's going to be enough unlocks and profit taking over the time period to potentially cap what this could do as far as upside. Now, if it more than 10x is, like I said, I was an early investor. I got in pre-market on this token. So, hey, if it 10x's or more from here, fantastic. But given the dilution on this, I'm going to play this one a little safer. And at the diluted market cap, I think that it could be capped a little bit as far as upside. However, with something like an Echelon Prime, which is an intersection for AI and gaming, I think AI and gaming are match made in heaven as far as combining that narrative. And I think those tokens are going to do really well. So this has the potential, if there's a gaming AI run, to really take a rip upwards. They did partner up with 𝗏𝗟. Once this goes live, I think this is going to be a really hyped project. We'll definitely launch at a few $1 billion market cap. So, but because it's not live, we are not going to put it on the existing tier list. 𝗏𝗟𝗃. All right. So here's the part of the show where you guys need to listen closely. So right now we have this power play going on in the space where you're going to see the three biggest tokens in the AI sector combine: SingularityNet, 𝗏𝗏, and Ocean. So what we're going to do here, this is hard to judge. And the info that we have is that when these three tokens go together, and if you didn't see this, they're going to be the ASI token. So the Artificial Super Intelligence Alliance. So how can you play this? What should you be doing? We'll go over that in a different video. But for this sake of a tier list, the idea here, they're going to be combining to become the biggest market cap AI token in the sector. We're looking at about a $7 billion market cap here. So for that reason, I'm going to put 𝗏𝗟𝗃, Ocean, and 𝗏𝗏 together in a bucket here at a 10x. Because if it gets to a 70 billion market cap, which still is not unrealistic, let's just be totally transparent. The valuations on some of the things we're going to see in the market this year are going to be insane. But I don't know. If we hit a 7 billion, I feel like the upside's a little bit capped. So for safety purposes, we're going to group Ocean, 𝗏𝗏, and 𝗏𝗟𝗃 in the 10x category. And I'm kind of upset, obviously. Ocean has been one of our best early calls in the AI space. We got in here at like 30 cents. Let's look at the year chart and we'll find our entry here. Yeah, we got in like right here, like 28 cents last summer. So to see, I would rather just ride this thing up instead of them combining the tokens and there being a little bit of a mess there. But I know there's some blog posts about how it's going to work and how those merges are going to happen. But just for unknown purposes, I'm going to put Ocean, 𝗏𝗟𝗃, and 𝗏𝗏 together here on the 10x category, just because I have no clue what to expect once this thing merges together. And that market cap is just going to be so high that I think other lower market cap plays have more upside. So sorry for the rant there, but it's an interesting one. We don't really know the future forward for a lot of these. And look, if it was singular, like if it was just going off of each and every one of them, like I think Ocean would definitely be a potential 15, 20x. But because they're combining these tokens, it's really hard to judge. Next one up on the list here is Node AI. This is the GPU token. Over the last 30 days, this is 10x. So, but if you look at the market cap, it could completely 10x from here. If not, it could 25x. That would put it at a $3, $4, $5 billion market cap. So, I mean, just to be completely transparent here, once again, you can rent or lend your GPU power and you can earn rewards with GPU, and we generate revenue by powering AI with GPU. So you're powering AI protocols and AI products with your GPU power that you're not using. So I think it's a really innovative tech. If you look through, I mean, they're doing a lot of things. They even are very transparent as far as check out our rental activity and revenue generated. It goes over here, the GPU nodes that they're doing. So this one's a really good project. I think it could 25x from here. That would put it even just at like a $5 billion market cap, just like these three. I think GPU, even though it just did a 10x, I think it could 25x from here, which would be a 250x for people who got in early. I really don't think it's unrealistic to think that it could do those types of numbers. Next up here, this one's tough because it just hasn't had the moves that you would expect from a meme AI token, and that is Optimus AI, Opti. And the reason why this is meme is it's after Elon Musk's Optimus. So every time he's tweeted about it traditionally, this one seems to do well, but it just hasn't performed that great. I don't want to be bearish on this, but it's hard for me, like, and look, it's the lowest market cap on this list. So it's tough to really judge. I'm going to put it in 10x. If this hits a few hundred million market cap, there's going to be so many people that got in early on this token that are going to get rich. And I don't know. I think there's other plays with higher upside and more utility. And I think that Opti is simply banking off the meme narrative, and it hasn't moved with meme season at all. It hasn't really moved with AI season. So I'm going to go with a 10x for Opti, and that's about as high as I'm willing to go. All right, the next one on the list. You guys know I love this token. I think this can genuinely be one of the biggest gaining AI tokens of this cycle. And the fully diluted is actually $32 million. This is Balance AI. I think a 10x is a certainty here. I think we see $100 out of this token eventually. This thing is, I mean, they have everything going for them. And the thing is, their mainnet launch still has not launched. They're happy to say that they've completed the upgrade of their V0 mainnet source. We're running the regression tests now, and once completed, we'll hand over the code for the final audit. So they're getting really close to launching their official mainnet here at a 32 million market cap. All right, so a 10x is a 300 million. A 25x is 7. I mean, this is a 50x token. This is a 50x token. If this hits a $1.5 billion valuation, which is not unrealistic here, especially if we see tokens like these hitting 5 billion, if we see AGIX hitting, or the ASI token, the merger, hitting numerous billions, tens of billions of dollars in market cap, I think BAI could do a 50x without a doubt. So I don't even think that that's overly bullish. That's putting me at a $1.5 billion market cap, while all these other tokens are going to be at 5, 10, 20 plus billion dollar market caps. So I think that that's actually a kind of conservative prediction here. But if, it's hard for me to think that BAI is going to get to $1,000, and that would be 100x. But I think anyone who's watched my previous tier list videos, I have never even ranked a single token in the 50x category. Every one of my videos for tier list, I have done 25x maximum. So that should tell you how much conviction I do have in a product like BAI, which mainnet is coming out. People compare this thing to 𝗏 at the end of the day, and 𝗏 is probably the top AI project this cycle so far. So Definitely one to watch for. Next one up here is a pretty unknown project, but it's been on the move this week, and that is Blender. Blender, another one that's fully diluted, which I absolutely love. Funny enough, they compare themselves to Render, 𝗏, and you can see kind of how their tool stack stacks up to this. I think this is a pretty interesting project. It's secure, scalable access to computing resources via blockchain for research and development. Could be a lot of buzzwords, but this one only has 12K followers, not too much in the public eye yet. However, it has pumped quite a bit this week. If we see the weekly chart here, 65% this week and 340% over the month. I mean, look, at this market cap at 100 million, 25X's, guys, we're just talking about a couple $2 billion in market cap. So, I mean, I'm going to put this in the 25X category. I think this one could absolutely do a 25X. Next one up here is Pal AI. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I know people like Becker really loves this one. Some other AI creators and investors really like this one. For that sake, if it 25X's from here, the problem is that's a $10 billion market cap. Can it hit that? Absolutely. But I think more certain is a 10X here. The PAL community can say, I'm happy to say if it goes more, then good. But I don't know. Just the way that some of these other projects, you can 25X these and they're just a $5 billion market cap. If you 25X this, it's a $10 billion market cap. It's a little bit different territory there. You're talking potentially very overvaluated if we get to that level. So I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to say a 10X there for PAL, and not in the negative way. I'm just trying to be a little more realistic on some of these. If I think others are going to settle around 5 billion, I don't want to rank others that I kind of deem the exact same that are already higher market cap to settle at a higher clip, in my opinion. Next one on the list was 𝗏. This one obviously is the king of the AI tokens right now. 𝗏 and Render are at the top of the food chain as far as AI goes at the moment in time. 10 billion fully diluted, guys. This is where I get a little wary. But look, 𝗏's narrative is so strong. I mean, I think a 10X is certain from here, which, I mean, $100 billion fully diluted. That's insane to think, but it would only be a 30 billion fully diluted. I think a few $1,000s per token here for 𝗏 is not unrealistic. So look, I'm going to say a 10X from here could definitely happen. The one thing you need to remember, however, it is up 800% this year. So if you do the math, if it does a 10X, that's like a 90X from the bottom, which, I mean, I think 𝗏 definitely has that capability to do. But because of the market cap, I'm not going to put it anything higher than a 10X. AIOZ network, another one. I'll just keep this one quick. It's already at $1 billion circulating market cap, or right around it. Let's take a look. 891 million. So if this one hits about $10 billion, look, I think there's going to be so much money created off of that people will be happy. I'm not gonna put it into the 25X category and think that if this hits 25 billion, that 𝗏 would only hit 30 billion. The logic just doesn't shape up there. So I think that if this hits 30, you could see AIOZ hit $9 billion easily, and that would be a 10X from here. We have two more tokens on this list. Next up, we have Render, which is once again pretty highly evaluated. It is the highest on the food chain as far as market cap size. Okay, we all know and love Render here. We got a great position on Render during the lows. If we take a look at the yearly here, we DCA'd Render right here, about $2.45. So we're massively up on this position, as a lot of the Banter fam is. A lot of Banter people have invested into this one over the course of the bear and should be well up on your positions at this point in time. But similarly speaking, if this one gets to 50 bill, that's a huge win. A 10X from here is $100 per token for Render. And that's obviously super bullish. So even if I rated it as a 5x, that's still a major win for where we got in at the bottom. But because of how hot the narrative is, I would not be surprised to see this at a few tens of billions of dollar market cap, given the fact that we haven't even seen valuations go crazy yet. Like, let's just flip over quickly before we get into the last token on market caps here. Solana at 80. A lot of people think Solana is destined to hit $500. That would put Solana at a $250 billion market cap. That's not unrealistic to think. And this is the crazy thing, is the valuations still aren't at that unfathomable point. Like, we have a long way to go in this market. And I think the AI tokens, like gaming last cycle, are going to be out of proportion, like unrealistic valuations, which is why a lot of these, I think, can do these types of numbers. Whereas gaming, we saw the tokens last cycle hit 25 billion for 𝗙𝗍𝗄 Infinity on the diluted. But I think investors are more aware in that niche now, that there's no game that should be valuated at $25 billion currently. So I think the awareness level is higher on valuations in gaming than AI. And I just think AI is such, not a fad, but a new incumbent, right? It's this flashy thing right now. I think people are going to lose sight a little bit of what these valuations can hit. But speaking of one that I mean, let's just be real. I say that, right? And then we have Echelon Prime. I mean, we caught this one at $2.77. This is the epitome of a gaming and AI token. They're coming out with their Colony AI game, and if you don't know, it is it's a fully AI backed colony builder. This team has shipped more product over the bear and into the bull than I have seen. This is the 𝗙𝗍𝗄 Infinity of this cycle. I have no doubts about it. Prime has already performed like 𝗙𝗍𝗄 of the cycle. It's done over a 10x since the bottoms. I wouldn't even be surprised if it 5 to 10x's from here rather easily. I'm going to be honest. I would not be surprised to see that. And they just closed another 35 million in a funding round. So let's look here realistically, 2.5 billion. I'm not going to say a 25x. That puts this at a $50 billion market cap. But I would not be surprised to see 200 per token on Echelon Prime. I think that's my most confident in the 10x. I think you're going to see 100 per token. I even think $200 per token. This is the one gaming token that if one singular game token is going to hit those 𝗙𝗍𝗄 levels, it's Echelon Prime. So what a perfect segue when we were talking about overvaluations. There is one outlier, and I think that is Echelon Prime. Now, look, this is a very bullish list. We have a lot of 10x's, but if you notice, all of these are pretty highly valuated. If we look across here at the other categories, we see stuff like GPU, OPSEC, desync, Blender. They're in those like 100, 200 million ranges. I think those can 25x absolutely. And then we have the darling of, in my opinion, of the AI cycle as far as undervalued, $32 million market cap. This thing could 50x. It would be a 1.5 billion. I don't think that's out of proportion. So I'm going to put BAI in that 50x category. And I mean, look, if Echelon Prime 10x's from here, that's 100x from our entry, guys. We would have hit that elusive 100x right here on in the game during the heap of the bear when we gave you that entry and we told you guys to keep DCAing. So I'm looking to hit that 10x on Echelon Prime and get us that sweet, juicy 100x. But leave me your thoughts down below on what you think of this AI tier list. This is not a project quality list, because if it was, we would have 𝗏, we would have Render, we would have Ocean, we would have Echelon Prime up at the very top, and then we would trickle them down. This is how many X's can these projects do from today. So leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I love the tier list comments. It never ceases to amaze me. The maxis come out, the people who are cult-like followers of certain projects. Just let me know down below your thoughts. I think this is actually a very realistic tier list as far as the AI sector goes. And then a quick update on a few of our sponsors here. Vulcan Forge, I've been super satisfied with the updates that they're bringing to the market. And I think the next leg up is going to be major for the PYR token. We recently saw it hit $10, did take a little retrace with the market, but the Launchpad launches in 1 week. And then 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃's, their first gameplay footage will be released. I've been seeing what they're doing. It looks fantastic. And 5% of the total fundraise gets bought back into the PYR token, which I think is super bullish. So really looking forward to that. We have Reality Metaverse, one of our sponsors here. Honestly, one of the cooler projects that I have seen as far as utilizing real world locations into their product and into their game. Now you can actually stake. Staking is now available, and they're actually including the availability on their website for all users. The game is weather challenge. So wherever you are, if you see here the way that the phone shapes up, I think it's like you predict the weather or something like that, and you can stake and you can actually go ahead and bet. And then if it hits that, your bet, and then the Eiffel Tower is close, you can actually earn tokens there right on the Reality Metaverse app. As we also see, they partnered up with NeuroChain. They have a free NFT mint coming up soon that I think you should register for on their website, and they're giving away $1,000. So Reality Metaverse is doing a lot of cool things over on their Twitter at Reality Meta. Go hop into this. Take your shot at $1,000. And if you're anywhere around the world, one of those major metropolitan cities, you could probably jump in here and see what kind of stuff you could do, just depending on your geolocation. We have Ultra, their Q1 highlights. They have Ultra games on the web, arena on the web, leaderboards upgrade, unique offer feature, and multi-device feature. I think just like Vulcan Forged, I think Ultra will have a major leg up on this next gaming run. I'm really looking forward to see what comes next in Q2 for Ultra. And then last but not least, we have 𝗏𝗏𝗏, brand new launch. Shout out to these. I mean, this team, they did a really good job on this launch. The fully diluted market cap right now is $150 million. Brand new launch. And this token has those meme vibes, but they have a real game. They have a docs team. They've shown their faces. Like, really cool product. If you haven't checked it out, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, you can check them out down below. It's already on Uniswap, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and BitGet. 150 million market cap. Not too shabby here if you're taking a look at that. And the price action, as you see here, has been pretty solid. So shout out to 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and shout out to all of our sponsors down below. Links down below in the description for each and every one of our sponsors. And that's the 𝗚𝗏𝗡𝗃𝗧's tier list. So look, if you're as bullish on AI tokens as I am this cycle, leave your thoughts down below. Like and subscribe. Help us to get to that 100K subscriber mark. You know, Bitcoin's consolidating. We have our time to get a little bit of a leg up before Bitcoin catches up to our 100K, right? So help us out down below. And I'll see you guys on Monday. As always, play well, my friends.